Okay, what we're gonna do, we're just gonna go like this. Um, that's not in order. In order. 126 videos? Oh my
Are you into
days.
guitar mods? How about locking tuners? Maybe a custom pickguard.
We're not
Maybe
getting
you want a
through
different
all of
pickup
this
installed.
today, I can
Maybe you
promise
want
you
a
that.
preferred string gauge installed.
Hello once again, theorists. Welcome to Matt
This is
Pat's
done.
Today's
Hey,
Debate.
wait. This is done by the game theories. The game theorists. This is done by the game theorists. This is not my video. Wait, I'm covering Matt Pat's face. That's fine.
We are playing the scariest game of all creation. Probably never heard of it. It's called Five Nights at Freddy's. Here we go. What's this? It's a camera.
Hey, what's good, bro?
The camera came up. Oh, was that a bunny? Was that a bunny? I think it was a bunny. Oh my gosh. I am so scared right now. Oh god! Oh. It was only the fan. It's only the fan. Only a fan. I have never played a game this intense. Oh god! Shut the doors, shut the doors, shut the doors! Oh, please don't see me, please don't see me, please don't see me, please don't see me, please don't.
Is this just his gameplay?
Ugh! Just the fan! Just the fan! I don't know about you, but every time the camera makes the sound to come up, I pee a little bit in my pants.
Bro.
What? That's it? That's it? It's a jump scare? It's a little bunny rabbit jump scare.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea,
Really?
Matt.
Really? Alright.
Was
Oh, God.
what's that?
Oh, there's the bunny rabbit. Shut my door.
Is it just him playing the game the whole time?
It's 5 a.m. Come on.
Oh,
Is this what
oh,
it takes
oh.
to get views on YouTube?
Oh shit.
What is this?
Love Roblox?
There it is.
Earn
There's
Roblox
the
digital gift
theory
cards with Microsoft Reward.
stuff. We don't need that.
Hello,
Oh,
Internet!
I thought it was gonna keep
Welcome
going.
to Game
I
Theory,
forgot how
where
short it was.
fear is our middle name. Matthew Fear Patrick. It's a very strange name. Okay, I'll admit it, I didn't
No
give
reaction,
Five
huh?
Nights
I
at
recommend
Freddy's
you
enough
looking up
credit when it
FNAF
first came
timeline
out. A few
video.
jump scares from creatures that,
Maybe.
aren't that scary. People
Maybe.
overreacting to it on YouTube. Meh, pass. But then, when I asked you about it, you showed overwhelming support for an episode on the game on Twitter, so I began to dig a little deeper and deeper. And what I found was some of the most interesting
Wait, how deep does this shit go? Does it like actually go that deep? Like, is there like a whole freaking just debacle on this shit? Like, is it just one big giant freaking story that we don't actually know about? So the lore changed a lot since. What?
storytelling, most intriguing
How do you
mysteries,
change the
and most
story?
disturbing events I'd read about in a
Just
long
retcon?
time. Now, if you were just to play the game straight through 5 days, the story would actually come across as pretty superficial. You're the new night guard watching the security cameras at a Chuck E. Cheese-style restaurant called
I
Freddy
need something.
Fazbear's Pizza. 4 animatronics roam the halls at
Oh
night.
shit.
Parents, if your
Oh
child
my
plays
God, dude! I
Roblox,
just
listen
got
up.
done
You
watching
could
ads.
qualify for up to
I need YouTube
$300,000 or
Premium.
more
It's
in
deep as shit.
compensation.
Oh, for
If
real?
your child was sent sexual images or material, estimated
Damn.
compensation is between $25,000
because
I'm
the
probably not
owners
even
don't want
centered.
their servos to lock up. Bad news is, you can't let them near you, or else they'll kill you on the spot because you look like a naked endoskeleton. Ow, ow! Show them those circuits!
I ain't showing nobody nothing.
Apparently, one of them bit someone back in 87, presumably
Not just
1987, and the
retcon,
past
but new
guard leaves you
information.
recorded phone messages
Oh.
to act as your tutorial, that is, as much as he could record before he got himself killed. And that's it! Stay 5 nights, collect your paycheck, done, game over, play something new. But playing it that way is doing the game a huge disservice, because that's not even
Oh shit.
scratching the
That's how I played it. Oops.
surface. If you're
So
really
this
observant,
map
you
pet
start to
video is
unravel the
hella
layers of
outdated.
unsolved mysteries
Damn.
around
Finally
this
made it to
place.
stream. What's
You
good, bro?
find that there's
What's
a
good,
fifth
Cookie? What's good,
animatronic,
Mookie?
that posters on the wall will change randomly, that news clippings appear and disappear, telling the dark
Local pizzeria Freddy Fazbear's Pizza has been threatened again with shutdown by the health department over reports of foul odor coming from the much-loved animal man cotton. Okay, we're just gonna call them animatronics from the much-loved animatronics. Police were contacted when parents reportedly noticed that they appeared what appeared to be blood and mucus around the eyes and mouths of the mascots. One of the parents likened them to
secrets of
reanimated
this twisted place.
carcasses.
Putting it all
Damn.
together, here's the rest of the story. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, once a popular restaurant, fell into hard times when 5
Oh,
children went
mascots?
missing there after
Oh, I'm
being lured
stupid.
to a back room by a man dressed in a character costume. Though a suspect was caught and convicted, the body
Yeah.
I said you gotta give me the charger for my.
All right. I don't know where it is. Oh, shit. Hang on, chat. Your catch. Good job. You're welcome. Thought so. Yo, what's good, bro?
of the children were never recovered. The pizzeria was also threatened with shutdown due to sanitation complaints, as foul odors started to come from the animatronics, blood and mucus oozing
Oh,
from their
I
eyes
just
and
said that.
mouths. The last article
But yeah, after this video, look up the timeline to learn everything you have to know in just a single 1 hour video.
written years
I
after
kind of
the
want to just
incident,
go
states
through
that the
this and see how
pizzeria
it
would
goes,
finally be
like just
closed
as
by
the
year end.
shit
In addition to the
developed,
core
like
4
over time, you
robots,
know what I mean?
Chica, Bonnie, Freddy, and Foxy, there's also a fifth, unofficially referred to as Golden Freddy. Ignoring the rules of physics,
Oh.
Golden Freddy appears
Wait, that's unofficial? Doesn't it say that in FNAF 2? I thought that was official. I thought for sure that was official.
and disappears at will, can inexplicably travel through doors, wherever, causing strange hallucinations. And when he attacks you, you're not taken to the typical game over screen, your game crashes. So that's unsettling. And there's also strange messages appearing on the walls, repeating the words,
Well, then
"It's
you're
me."
in
According
for
to the game's
100 plus
creator, the
videos of
place
Map
is
Pet.
indeed
Yeah, I'm in
haunted
for it,
by what we
honestly.
can only
Seems
assume to
interesting
be
so
the
far.
spirits of the 5 lost children. So
You're telling me that this behind this stupid little bear game, there's dead kids involved? Are you serious?
oh, that's the gist of it. Murder, missing children, foul odors, killer robots, and pizza. But that story leaves
Pizza. Pizza's what we're worried about?
A lot of lingering questions. Who is your character? How's he fit in? Why does he stay for 5 nights when he's very
Weren't we,
clearly
like,
confronting
Mike
the
Fritz or
possibility of
Jeremy
death? What more
Fitzgerald? I
can we
can't
know
remember
about
which
this
game it was.
terrifying Golden Freddy? And most importantly, what is the complete story behind Five Nights at Freddy's? They're all good questions about a delightfully incomplete and mysterious story with just enough threads to keep you theorizing. So now, if you'll indulge me, let me reciprocate that story with one of my own. I think you'll find it interesting. December 1993.
Picked a great name, but your voice doesn't
Oh
quite
my
match
god,
it?
dude.
We have a fix.
Voice mod gives you over 100.
Aurora, Colorado. 10 p.m. Tuesday night at a local Chuck E. Cheese. After a family birthday party runs long, manager Margaret Kohlberg and teenage employees Sylvia Crowell, Ben Grant, Colleen O'Connor, and Bobby Stevens are forced to stay late to close up shop. But as Margaret tallies receipts in the back, Bobby scrubs down the kitchen and the other 3 work
How does he just find these names? Oh, Chuck E. Cheese.
outside in the main arcade. Unknown to any of the 5, there's actually a 6th person locked in the building with them, waiting silently in the darkened restrooms. A 19-year-old named Nathan Dunlap. Earlier that year, Nathan had begun working there as a cook, dough master, before getting fired in July after a disagreement over his hours. Now, 5 months later, he was back. At 10:05, he left the bathroom, pulled out a small caliber handgun, and proceeded to execute everyone in the building. First Sylvia, then Ben, then Colleen. Dunlap then moved to the kitchen, where he surprised Bobby Stevens. The bullet entered Bobby's jaw, sending him sprawling onto the ground. Then finally, Nathan moved to the back, the office, where Margaret opened the safe before Nathan shot her twice, proceeded to grab her bag, filling it with $1,600 in cash, arcade tokens,
That's a lot of money back then, too.
keychains.
Oh my
Spurred
god,
on by
this
the
is
building
tragic.
security footage, police were at his home a few hours later, where he was promptly arrested. Eventually, he was tried and sentenced to death, but his story re-entered the news just recently as his punishment has been postponed, leading people to debate whether he's able to sleep soundly, knowing that his execution has been delayed.
Mom!
Wait.
help.
Okay, skip
What
this ad
happened?
first of all.
We lost David.
This, whether he's able to sleep just recently as his punishment has been postponed, leading people to debate whether he's able to sleep soundly, knowing that his execution has been delayed.
This right here is how you know a motherfucker twisted. He's sick in the head. He's smiling. Put those teeth away. You executed 5 people. You're freaking absolutely despicable. Rotten
This
hell,
is
bastard.
a tragic story, a disgusting waste of human life, and one that I won't joke about or
Yeah,
make
me
fun of in
neither.
any way.
If you guys make jokes about this or like make jokes about like this mass murder that went inside of a Chuck E. Cheese, just leave the stream. Honestly, that's not even cool. That's not funny. We don't joke around about this shit. I'm not playing. If you're gonna joke about it, I don't care what the joke is, get out. Don't even type it. Just get out of my stream. If you type it, you will be banned. I'm not playing. We're not joking about the 5 murdered people in this real life scenario.
But I want to address it because I have a strong suspicion that this story is the one that inspired Five Nights at Freddy's. Let's look at the facts. First, I don't think that there's any doubt that Freddy's is a parody of Chuck E. Cheese. From the singing animatronics to the alliterative naming of the characters, the parallels are just obvious, so the setting is certainly the same. Next, what year does Five Nights take place? The time is certainly kept vague, but there are clues that we can put together. For one, the Chuck E. Cheese franchise had a tremendous period of growth and success in the late 80s and early 90s, but started to decline along the same time as arcades, with at-home video game consoles taking center stage. So that's one clue, but we can get even more detailed, specifically with your character's paycheck. Each night you're working a 6-hour shift, and you're spending 5 nights there. So that's 30 hours of total work time for $120. In total, $4 an hour. How can they do that? That's below minimum wage for 2014. But in 1990, minimum wage was $3.80. In 1991, it was raised to $4.25. And by 1996, you were looking at about $5 an hour. So the game seems to take place between 1991 and 1996. The Nathan Dunlap story took place in 1993. But let's move on to the most important comparison, the victims. In the
These 2 guitars are technically the same finish and the same make and model, but clearly the tops are a little different.
That's a
But what
hot
if you had
guitar.
In the game, there were 5 child victims. In the real-life story, there were also 5 victims. But we can get even more specific. Online theories about the game always tend to draw a parallel between the number of kids missing to the number of animatronics, saying that the children's bodies were stuffed in the various suits. And this
What? Run that by me one more time?
number of animatronics, saying that the children's bodies were stuffed in the various suits. And this
I didn't mishear it. Oh my god!
appears to be true. Bonnie and Chica both have moans and raspy breath
Chunky,
sound
chunky.
effects, as though someone's trying to
What?
cling to the last threads of their lives stuffed inside the costumes. And other sounds made
The
by the
heck? What you mean,
animatronics
bro?
are just slowed down versions of children's laughs and screams. Additionally, as the news clipping mentions, the suits ooze
Y'all can hear the video, right? Hold on. Okay, yeah. Can y'all hear me? Alright, yeah. Okay.
blood and mucus and begin to stink like decaying bodies or reanimated corpses. So
Oh,
5
that's
victims, 5
disgusting.
suits. Seems like a
What if
slam dunk.
hold
But
on.
nowhere does it say that all 5 were murdered,
Okay,
only
cool.
that they
It
went
should be able to
missing and
balance
couldn't
out
be
my
found.
audio.
Also, the trouble a
Wait.
lot of people have with this theory is Golden Freddy. Why is that guy so limp and lifeless? So unlike the others. It's weird, until you go back to the real life story. Yes, there were 5 people shot that night in Chuck E. Cheese, which matches the 5 victims in Freddy's story, but of those, one survived. Bobby, the one from the kitchen, miraculously survived the shot to his jaw. After he was knocked to the floor by the bullet, he went limp, played dead, to avoid the killer coming back to finish the job. And that relates exactly to the advice you're given on night 3 by the phone guy.
Try playing dead. You know, go limp.
Again, let me reiterate that I'm not trying
Yo!
to make light of the real-life events by comparing them to bear costumes and animatronics, but I do want to point out that these similarities do exist. And what else is limp and appears to be a lifeless, empty suit in the game? Golden Freddy. Surviving the attack, Bobby was able to go to trial and be a damning piece of evidence in the case against Nathan Dunlap, ultimately leading to his death sentence. Which animatronic
Hell
surprises you
yeah.
by appearing randomly? The one you don't expect and has no clear pattern? Golden Freddy. It's also worth mentioning that of all the cameras in the restaurant, one is always black, preventing you from seeing what's
kitchen.
going on. That camera is located in the kitchen, leading many to assume it's where Golden Freddy hides, which just so happens to be the place Bobby was able to survive.
That's true.
the
You can't
attack.
really
So I
see
asked,
any of the. You
odd
can't see him on any of the
coincidence
other
or source of
cameras.
inspiration? In fact, if you think about it, the behavior of the animatronics really corresponds with key features of each of the real-life story's victims. We just covered Golden Freddy and Bobby, but the rest have strange parallels too. Bonnie goes into the utility closet filled with floor cleaning supplies, the most prominent ones being a mop and a broom. It's probably one of the most random rooms in the game, until you consider that Ben, the second victim, was vacuuming at the time of the attack. Foxy is kept sequestered in the back of the building, behind a curtain, more aggressive than all the rest, similar to the way Margaret, the manager, was in the back office counting receipts at the time of the murder, and her role as manager would inherently make her more aggressive or assertive.
See, I was about to ask questions about that correlation right there, and then he started explaining it. But now that that's like kind of answered, I don't feel like I need to ask questions. My only question is why does he run? But I guess we'll figure that out
Sylvia
later.
was closest to the bathroom and was cleaning up the salad bar at the time of the attack. Chica walks past the bathroom and is associated with food. And Freddy, well, he doesn't have that strong of a parallel with Colleen, but he does appear in the girls' restroom. Odd for what we would assume to be a male animatronic. Maybe it's a reference to Colleen being a girl, or a nod to
What makes Arby's $7.99 meat and $3 even
Arby's
better?
sucks. If
Fish.
you
That's
eat
right. The meal that gives
Arby's,
you 3 sides now includes the
I don't know
choice of a
how.
crispy
Arby's
fish
is
sandwich.
nasty.
Nathan's plan of hiding in the bathroom until he was ready to attack. Alright, after doing all the research, reading every fan theory in existence, and putting all the clues together, what can this mean for the story of the game? I think the game is an allegory for that night back in 1993. Here's my final interpretation. You, Mike Schmidt, are the murderer, former employee of Freddy's Pizzeria. Like Nathan in the real story, you were fired for the reasons stated in the Day 7 pink slip: tampering with the animatronics, being unprofessional, odor. Maybe it was your tampering with the robots that caused the infamous bite of 87. Regardless, like Nathan, you were mad and wanted to get even. So you lured
Chunky
children to the
Chunky?
back using a
What?
costume, killed them, stuffed their bodies
I
into
don't
the
even want to
animatronic
know.
suits, hoping to get the place shut down, then left. Notice that the newspaper clippings never say it's the
Just
employee of
trust
the
in the
company
process
luring
from
the
Matt
children
Pat.
away, but we know it must have been someone with access and knowledge of the employees-only section of the building. And as the newspaper clippings clearly show, just like Nathan, you were caught almost immediately, captured on the security footage. You were arrested, tried, and convicted, forced now to live on death row. The Freddy's Pizzeria you work in now are just the nightmares that haunt you, taunting you every night with the phrase, "It's me, it's me." It is you. You are the killer. The nightmare is also why
Damn.
everything is so surreal. Posters switching at random, heads on the animatronics glitching, Golden Freddy appearing and disappearing at will, taunting you as the one that got away. It's also why you're only at the pizzeria from midnight to 6 a.m. every night. It's a nightmare. It's in your sleep. It's a place you created, a restaurant long closed as evidenced by the spider webs, and overrun with angry spirits out for revenge on you, and you alone as the one who took their lives, as evidenced by them completely ignoring the naked
VHS tape?
endoskeleton elsewhere in the building. It's also a
Maybe.
place you can't escape
Maybe.
from, why you find yourself back there night after night, even after you complete your 5 nights. See you back next week, the ending text goes. You're unable to leave this terror, the threat of death, the guilt, because it never ends. And
I
in
don't
a
understand
delightfully
that.
ironic twist, your personal hell forces you to supervise the exact same security footage that led to your capture in the first place. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Sweet dreams.
Nice. Okay, so we finished video 1. So I'm gonna just hit that with a like button, show my
You know what
support,
October reminds me of?
and then hit the next video.
Hello? Hello, hello? Oh, hello, and welcome to the new and improved Five Nights at Freddy's 2 video. I'm here to answer any questions the game may have left unanswered. The game's developer, he's a pretty tricky guy. Don't worry, though. We'll get everything cleared up. Oh, and, watch out for the puppet.
You bitch. Matt, you's a bitch. No, we're trusting Matt Pat. I'm sorry.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory, the show that promises not to include any more gratuitous jump scares, unless that's just what I want you to think, so I can lull you into a false sense of security and scare you again. But I wouldn't do that. I'll just let the uncertainty of whether a jump scare is going to happen or not drive you insane for the rest of this episode. Man, I love reverse psychology. You know what else I love?
If I get jump scared by this shit again, I'm turning it off.
These games! Not because I'm freaked out by the rosy-cheeked, tingle-looking, emotionally dead animatronics. Okay, well, Balloon Kid is pretty messed up, but whatever. No, what I appreciate about these games is the level of thought that went into every element of the story. When you create a game that has people rage debating about whether it's a sequel or a prequel, you've definitely done something right. Unless that was never your intent, in which case you've done something horribly, horribly wrong. Anyway, the point is, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 looks to be everything you'd want in a sequel. More cameras, more danger, and more fan.
Huh?
Oh, the fan. But that also comes with more questions. Questions about the game's lore. And while others will provide you with the jump scares, I provide you with what everyone
Sure
really
I will.
wants, answers. Well, maybe not everyone. What an elite, educated subset of you really want, answers. So grab yourselves a slice of Freddy Fazbear's signature pizza, cause we're about to dig in. Ugh. Tastes like cardboard. Let's get the big one out of the way first. Is the game a sequel or a prequel sequel? And what I mean by that is, contrary to popular belief, just because it has a big 2 slapped next to the name doesn't automatically mean the game comes after the first one in a timeline sense. It's a sequel, yes, but it tells a prequel story. Take for instance these all-time classics: Psycho 4: The Beginning, Lion King 1.5,
Wait, so FNAF
and the
2 comes
actual
before
all-time classic Godfather Part 2. All of them sequels
FNAF 1?
that just so happen to also be prequels. It's not mutually exclusive, so where's Five Nights at Freddy's 2 fit in? Knowing its place in the timeline is crucial for understanding its story. Well, to figure that out, let's focus on the paycheck you receive at the end of your 5th night. The date places the events of the game in 1987, a whole
Is that the bite of 87?
6 years ahead of when we determined the first game took place in our first video. Sounds like a prequel, but we found that date in the first game by calculating Mike Schmidt's hourly pay and comparing that to the minimum wage of the 90s. If Scott Coffin, the game's developer, is just picking random numbers for the payments, this bit of evidence would be meaningless. Except that he's not. At the end of Five Nights 2, you get paid $100.50. Divide that by the 30 hours worked and you get $3.35 an hour. The exact minimum wage for 1987, which means that us using minimum wage minimum wage for 1980.
Minimum. Minimum. Nice.
Which means that us using minimum wage calculations to identify the
Security
year of
breach,
Five Nights
FNAF
1 is
security
a perfectly
breach
valid
timeline
way
is
to
considered
prove
better
it
than
and
mass
shows that it
security
takes
breach
place
theories.
after the events of Five Nights 2. Still don't believe me? Players brave
That's
enough
the
to survive
timeline,
extra
though.
night 6 are rewarded with a bonus check and a newspaper clipping that says the toy robots are getting scrapped, and that the old ones are going into storage for a new, smaller scale version of the restaurant. That would explain why the old models reappear in Five Nights 1 and the toy models don't. And notice how it mentions a smaller version of the restaurant. The building in Five Nights 1 is significantly smaller than the setting of Five Nights 2. Need more evidence? What about the fact that on the first night in the office, the phone guy explains that the robots used to walk around during the day just like they do in Five Nights 2, but not anymore. Or the fact that phone guy dies in the first game, making it hard for him to also be the phone guy in Five Nights at Freddy's 2 if it takes
Wait, that makes sense though.
place after. Call me the Phantom Menace, cause every way to Sunday, this game is a prequel. So with that revelation out of the way, we're able to piece together the rest of the timeline and dig a little bit deeper. Posters everywhere in Five Nights 2 welcome you to this new location, implying that there was another Freddy Fazbear's Pizza somewhere before this one. Additionally, the phone guy makes reference to it on night 1, mentioning the old location
Is that
while
FNAF
it was left
5?
to rot. So we know that there was one Freddy
Because FNAF 4
Fazbear's
takes place
Pizza
in a
for the
house.
first game,
FNAF
one for the
3 I
second
know takes
game,
place
and
way
one that came
after
before
everything.
both of them that we've never seen. But even before that, the phone guy also mentions an even older restaurant called Fredbear's Family Diner, which, aside from its confusingly different name, also had different owners. So let me recap. There's the restaurant from the first game, which is the last in the timeline. The one that you're currently working at in 1987 in Five Nights 2, an older location of Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria left to rot, and the original Fredbear's Diner. Jeez, I hope you're still with me, because this is more complicated than the Zelda timeline. Anyway, it's at
God,
this
the
first
Zelda
location,
timeline
the
is
diner, where the
is
whole story
stupid.
begins. Submitted for the approval of the Game Theorists Society, this is the true tale of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Hey,
When you
thanks,
die in
mods.
Five Nights at Freddy's 2, before you've even gotten over
Thanks,
the jump
Deathlord.
scare, you sometimes get a screen like this. Oh, turn it off! Turn it off! It's too horrifying.
Is that E.T.?
youngsters, was E.T. for the Atari, a
Yep.
console that came out before the NES. Yes, around the same time as the dinosaurs. It's widely considered to be the worst game of all time, hence me
Yup.
reacting in a horrified manner. See? Humor, folks. But seriously, you get these disturbing death minigames which, true to the 1987 setting, use Atari-esque graphics to depict various horrific events. All the while, a creepy robotic voice spells out letter by letter things like help them, save them, or save him. These death minigames are the most important piece in figuring out the true story behind these games. Let's start with this
Okay,
one.
so I guess I'll find out later, but now my current question is, what's the importance of have saved them and save him and save or help them.
This death minigame has you playing as Freddy, taking cake to screaming children at a birthday party. As Freddy rushes around trying to keep the whole party happy, a single sad child looks on from outside, when suddenly you're powerless to do anything but look on in abject horror as a purple man pulls up in a car, murders the child, and drives off. It's my belief, loyal theorists, that this game takes place at Fredbear's Diner, and is chronologically the first event that we see in this timeline. How do I know? Well, it's a small establishment, and there's only one animatronic, Freddy, as opposed to all the other games which show other robots. But more importantly, this murdered child is the one that sets everything into motion. One of the new tasks added to Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is winding a mysterious music box that we're told placates one of the animatronics. If you fail to wind the music box, what you're introduced to is this terrifying thing, the puppet. It looks like No-Face from Spirited Away. You know what else he looks like? Take a look at that murdered child again. See how his tear tracks remain visible on his face, even after he's dead? If we assume that they'll continue to stay with him into the
I know that MatPat was wrong on some things, but he wasn't wrong on everything.
afterlife, we can make a pretty good case that this kid's murdered spirit eventually found
FNAF 2 movie confirms it was at Freddy's. He just said it was at Freddy's.
its way into the puppet animatronic. But that's not all. What jump scare happens after this Save Him minigame? After seeing this tear-stained child's murder reenacted in 8-bit, the puppet. The puppet jumps out of the screen and attacks you. Coincidence? I don't think so. That incident marks the first time the chain is ever associated with a violent act carried out against a child. And we can infer that it was this incident that caused the original owners of Fredbear's Diner to sell off to the company now known as Fazbear Entertainment. Now, I don't know about you, but if I was senselessly murdered and left to haunt a crappy pizza place for the rest of my life in the body of an awful-looking clown doll, I'd want to get my revenge as soon as possible. Unfortunately for our vengeful puppet, though, it doesn't quite turn out that way. Fast forward a few years to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, the first location, the one that has yet to appear in a game. This new restaurant is the one we learned about in my earlier episode and throughout the first game, where our pal the murderer uses a golden Freddy suit to lure away and kill 5 children in the back room. As we read through the various articles on the wall, he gets caught the next day,
I know
but
this
the bodies
is
are
early,
never found,
and I know
presumably
that's
because
wrong
they've been
because
stuffed
I know
into the animatronic
Springtrap is the
suits.
killer.
The restaurant stays open for a few months until the dead body stink starts to waft off the robots and causes the place to get shut down for health reasons. But how do we know this happened in the first pizzeria's location? Again, we turn to what the phone guy says. On night 2 of Five Nights 2, he mentions the smell coming from the old animatronics, the smell that got the original restaurant shut down. We also know that after the Golden Freddy incident, it took multiple months for the restaurant to get shut down. That couldn't have happened in the restaurant of Five Nights at Freddy's 2, which is shut down on night 6 and into the foreseeable future. But outside of these lore clues, it also makes logical sense. Before the Golden Freddy murders, there was one dead child whose tear-stained soul existed in the form of the puppet. But now there are 5 more dead children, and thanks to another of the death minigames, we find out exactly what happened to them. In the Help Them minigame, the puppet stuffs the dead children into the robotic suits, giving their souls new life, and preps them for their eternal mission of vengeance. But MatPat, you say through your chattering teeth, there are only 4 dead children in that game. To which I tell you, look closer, if you dare. For the frame right before Golden Freddy's head jumps out and attacks features the lost 5th dead child, and what started as a haunted puppet has suddenly become an army of possessed animatronics out for revenge. But wait, that's not all we know. We also know the murder was committed by the same guy who killed the first child. How? Look at the Foxy death minigame. Twice, Foxy runs out to meet the kids, but the 3rd time we see the tall purple man again, smiling. Foxy goes into the other room to find 5 dead children. The man in purple strikes again. Skip ahead to 1987, finally bringing us to the events of Five Nights at Freddy's 2. The old animatronics have been retired, and the cute new versions of all our favorite friends come equipped with facial recognition software that just so happens to be connected to a sex offender standard
to remind people every
database.
time. You're
Seems like an
right.
oddly specific
I'm gonna pin
detail,
that.
right? Until you consider that the last restaurant was closed for having children get kidnapped and killed by an employee. It's a safety measure.
Thanks, bro.
You see how it all ties together? So you have some animatronics possessed by vengeful spirits and another batch on the prowl for predators. But that doesn't stop our friend the Purple Man from continuing his life's work of murdering children at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. As we learn from the phone guy on nights 4 through 6, the new restaurant is once again under investigation as, well, I'll let him explain.
Hello. What on earth are you doing there? Didn't you get the memo? The place is closed down, at least for a while. Someone used one of the suits. We had a spare in the back, a yellow one. Someone used it. Now none of them are acting right.
The Golden
Thanks,
Freddy
goat.
Killer struck again. The final
again.
death minigame also supports this. You, as Freddy, must walk through an exact replica of the building. Animatronics all in their proper places, seeing
Golden
the 5
Freddy.
dead children spread out through the various rooms. And based on what Phone Guy says, it seems like the guilty party was the former night guard, the one who moved to day shift and the one your character replaced. I mean, Phone Guy makes plenty of uncomfortable references to suddenly having an available position during the day.
When we get it all sorted out, we may move you to the day shift. The position just became available.
I always wondered about
we don't
that
have a replacement
I always wondered about that pause he had in that phone
for
call.
your shift yet, but we're working on it.
But is the Purple Man really someone we've never met and who's only worked there a week? Or is it someone we trust? Someone with a long history with these characters? Someone no one would suspect? The head guard. The one forced to fill empty positions and teach new recruits by leaving them instructions over the phone. Is the Purple Man the phone guy? Ask yourself this. What do we really know about Phone Guy? Let's look at what he says. First, he always speaks like an outsider looking
So
in.
at this
He
point
refers
in
to
the
the management
timeline,
of the
Phone
company
Guy
as
was the
they.
killer.
So he's not a higher up like the CEO or even a manager. But
Unless
he's also not a
that's
typical
answered in
day
the
worker
next
as he
video.
says things like the employees and the staff. So he works there, but isn't generally considered a regular member of the company. We also know that he's qualified to take the role of a night guard. As we learn, he plans to take over the position sometime after night 6, and is on his way out of the position by the time the first game starts.
For now, just make it through the night. When the place eventually opens again, I'll probably take a night shift myself. I actually worked in that office before you. I'm finishing up my last week now, as a matter of fact.
What else do we know? Well, we know that Phone Guy has a long history with the company, being with it at least since the first pizzeria that we haven't played in. He also openly admits that Foxy the Pirate was always his favorite, and that he has never liked the puppet because, as he says, it was always thinking.
See, I told you you wouldn't have any problems. Did Foxy ever appear in the hallway? Probably not. I was just curious. Like I said, he was always my favorite.
Well, he fucking did for me, and he was a big old bag of dicks. Fucking asshole.
I'll be honest, I never liked that puppet thing. It's always thinking, and it can go anywhere.
Okay, but what do we know about the Purple Guy, the Golden Freddy Killer? Well, let's look at the minigames again. He has a long history with the franchise, killing since it was Fredbear Diner. We see him smiling as he watches Foxy perform, Phone Guy's favorite, right before Foxy sees the room of dead children. We know that the puppet and the killer wouldn't get along, which would explain Phone Guy's discomfort around a creature that he describes as always thinking. And here's the bombshell. We know the killer is a security guard. How? On very rare occasions during the Save Them minigame, while Freddy chases the puppet, the Purple Man appears and chases you. Look on his chest. It's an orange badge, the kind that would be given to a security guard. Now look at his eyes. Notice the white spots? An odd, seemingly innocuous detail. But now look at Golden Freddy. Look deep into his dead, vacant eyes. What do you see? 2 white spots. Pinpricks, really. Barely visible. They're there.
Disturbing
now finally,
as
what do we
fuck.
see in Purple Guy's hand? Well, the Atari graphics make it tough to discern. It's not like any gun or knife I've seen. No, that to me is very clearly a phone. The robotic voice is spelling out for you, save them, save them. But when Purple Guy, Phone Guy, catches you, the screen crashes and all you're left with is, you can't. But that's not where it ends,
that's
Internet.
crazy.
As you and I both know, there's still Five Nights at Freddy's 1. If this game is last in line and the puppet is truly pulling the strings behind
That shit
all
actually
this, you might
said
be
you
asking
can't.
yourself
That's
where he
fucked.
is in Five Nights 1. We know the other animatronics got scrapped, but this ghostly guy should still be around if this timeline I proposed is correct. And get this, the puppet is in the first game. Take a look at the east hallway. Seems pretty normal, right? But every so often, the posters on the walls change to this: a crying child with two streaming lines down his face. Look familiar? It should. The Five Nights at Freddy's series is about vengeance. One child, 6 children, more, looking for revenge against a sick child killer. The purple guy, the guy who just so happens to be the first voice you hear when turning on these games. Save them. Save them. You can't. But hey, that's just a theory.
That's fucking
A
crazy,
game
dude.
theory. Thanks for watching. Make sure you wind that music box by clicking the subscribe button, otherwise the puppet might get you.
Am I subscribed?
Click it.
We need to.
Click it. Oh,
Okay, yes,
guess
I
we're
am.
safe after all. It's almost the holiday break. You know what I like to do during this
Wait,
time
I'm
of
already
love
watching
and
this one.
gladness?
This one. Okay. What the fuck are you doing, Matt? Oh, nah.
It's time.
Okay, as much as I love it,
FNAF
I gotta turn it off.
Welcome to Game Theory, where good things, or at least FNAF things, come to those who wait. And man, when it comes to this game series, no one was waiting for anything. I mean, the second game came out 3 months after the first, the trailer for the third was 2 months later, and like 4 minutes after that, the game was available to download. So forgive me if I was caught with my pants down on that one. I just wasn't prepared for it. But even more impressive than that abbreviated timeline was your ability to rip that final game apart. Hours after the release of the game, people were discussing good versus bad endings, 8-bit Atari cake, glitching through walls, and punching a flipping code into cement bricks arranged like a telephone dial
There's a code in the fucking wall. Are you serious?
pad. In regards to that last one, I have 2 things to say. First off, well done to you guys for figuring it out so quickly, and secondly, Scott, seriously.
This is
Yeah,
your call.
I agree with that.
To
My comment got deleted, but have you seen the fan-made non-canon VHS tape where Pipple Guy deep fries a baby? I don't know if I would watch that.
Seriously, Scott? Oh look, here's a wall. Let me just dial in my phone number. Beep boop boop beep boop boop. What? When did we jump from a point-and-click horror game to magical fantasy? This thing is like platform 9 3/4. I expect Harry effing Potter to apparate into Pirate's Cove or something. Jeez, here I was thinking that you'd plug your numbers into, the one other place that you see numbers in this game, the bonus jump scare menu, or something, anything, but nope, dialing it into a wall makes so much more sense. Okay, sorry, just needed to get that one off my chest. Moving on. Now, with
I
15
agree with
days at
that. I mean, why would you put code into a fucking wall and expect people to figure that shit out? Like, how are you supposed to know to put numbers into a wall, dude? Like, I'm not just going around putting numbers into walls and calling it good. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm not, you can't see anything. You can just hear the screams. It's terrifying, and I only heard a short clip.
under our
Yeah,
belts and a few
I don't think
overtime
I'm gonna
hours
watch
clocked
that.
in for good measure, we have ourselves a completed video game trilogy, with the third game giving us more jump scares, more phone guy, and more fan. But this game also contains the final
What's
clues
his
we
beef
need
with
to
the
get some
fan?
closure on this game's deviously vague story. Scotty C certainly didn't make things any easier for us, but at this point I think we finally have enough puzzle pieces scattered across the 3 games to assemble a fairly accurate picture of this franchise's lore. Since you guys had a, let's just say, above average interest in this theory, I wanted to create something that answered as many questions as possible about this franchise. But beyond just the details, the question we all want an answer to is, what exactly happened in the story throughout this series? It's a pretty fundamental question to not have an answer to, and yet, despite thousands of videos, forum entries, and Tumblr posts, whoa, hey, put that away, you behave yourself. This game is already
Yeah.
scary enough without you sticking your hook somewhere it doesn't belong, okay? Despite
What the fuck did I just see?
all those things, we still don't have a clear picture on the details. Yes, there's a
It's
child killer on the
wonder if
loose, the infamous Purple guy, who's been using
We need
Fazbear
his ass.
pizzerias as his hunting ground of choice for years, but going into the 3rd game, we still weren't sure about who this guy was or even how many
I need a
victims
number
he'd
1
officially
box
taken.
theory.
Then there are the animatronics. Sure, we generally understand that the killer's dead bodies have been stuffed into some of the suits, and that with the help of the puppet, the kids were able to find new life in those robotic bodies, but then what about Shadow Bonnie and Shadow Freddy, who randomly appeared in FNAF 2 only to become prominent figures throughout Part 3? How do they fit in? What about the ghostly Golden Freddy, someone we've been talking about since the 1st game, and yet we still don't really know anything about him? Well, now that we finally have all the facts, I think it's time we revisit my timeline I presented in the last episode to see what I got right, what I got wrong. Yes, you heard that. Wrong. No shame. I'm a big boy. Mommy, wow, I'm a big kid now. And finally fill in the missing details to create what I believe to be my definitive Five Nights theory. And boy, howdy, it is a doozy. So strap in, theorists. You wanted it. You're a...
Whoa.
What's that?
I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys, need to
about to get it. Overall, the timeline of the franchise I presented in the last video still holds strong. Decades before the name became a horror legend meriting its own theme park style attraction, Freddy Fazbear got his start at Fredbear Family Diner. It's here where our story begins as Purple Guy takes his first victim, something we see in the Take Cake minigame from Five Nights at Freddy's 2. What tells us that this is Fredbear's and first in the timeline? Well, as I said last time, in addition to it being a small space, the only character we see is Freddy, whereas all other minigames feature multiple animatronics. He's also holding a cupcake. Since that would later become Chica's signature item, the event depicted in this game must have come before she was created. Additionally, notice that the Purple Guy's murder takes place outside the building. This is the only time we see him murder someone outside the walls of a Fazbear building, which implies that this is likely his first victim. Serial killers often have what's known as a signature, a way of killing that's unique to him and him alone. For Purple Guy, his signature is dressing in an animatronic costume, then luring children to the back of the pizzeria and killing them there. But this murder occurs before he developed this particular style, implying that it's the first. From there, we know that the puppet jump scare that always follows this minigame, combined with the tier design on both the dead child and the puppet's mask, implies that the soul of the first child now exists in the puppet. The event caused the original owners to sell the Fredbear.
Wait. I'm piecing things together in my head. Is that minigame the the less quality version of the security puppet minigame from FNAF 6? Is that what that is? Because that's what happened um in FNAF 6, right? I'm coming up with stories of my own now. That kid is the same kid as the kid in FNAF 6. The one that was dead in the alley? That's the same person.
Name, who then
Confirmed!
rebranded and avoided the negative PR, becoming
Call
what we
me
know today as
a
Fazbear
Philist.
Entertainment. They then opened a new chain of restaurants, which we never saw in the games until the release of Five Nights 3. This is not Fredbear Diner like many interpret, but rather the first location of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, predating the events of Five Nights at Freddy's 2. How do we know? Well, by paying close attention to the old recordings of Phone Guy dug up in FNAF 3, he introduces us to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, not Diner, before explaining the functionality of the special spring lock suits.
Welcome to your new career as a performer/entertainer for Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Right now we have 2 specially designed suits that double as both animatronic and suit.
He also lets us know that the
Okay,
animatronics are
wait a
still
minute.
allowed to
As both
Why is this one's eyes white and this one's yellow? And why is this one not moving, but this one is?
animatronic and suit.
He also lets us know
I
that
need
the
some
animatronics are
explanation.
still allowed to walk around freely during the day, meaning that this is happening before the bite of 87, in which an animatronic bites someone during business hours, removing their frontal
That's the Charlie bit my finger video. Ouch, Charlie! Ouch, Charlie! That really hurt!
lobe and resulting in the animatronics being
That
restricted to
video
moving
has
around only at night.
millions of
For ease
views.
of operation, the animatronics are set to turn and walk towards sound machines.
As Phone Guy informs us, and as we see in the Stage 01 minigame, there are 2 specialty suits, a Golden Bonnie suit and the origins of the infamous Golden Freddy. But the lifespan of these Springlock suits is actually short-lived as we learn about their one fatal flaw.
After learning of an unfortunate incident at the sister location involving multiple and simultaneous spring lock failures, the company has deemed the suits temporarily unfit for employees. The classic suits are being retired to an appropriate location.
Now, let's pause here. 2 employees are killed by the failure of a Bonnie suit and a Freddy suit. Where else in the game do we see Bonnie and Freddy sharing a unique feature that no one else in the game possesses? Shadow Freddy and Shadow Bonnie. Could this be the origin of the paranormal Shadow suits? Yes, actually. Shadow Freddy and Shadow Bonnie are tied to the ghosts of the employees who died in the spring suits. Get this, the employees' bodies were taken out of the suits, which is why their appearance is more paranormal and why they can't possess them as well as the children can. Plus, having this as their origin would explain the in-game behavior of both suits. In FNAF 3, we see that Purple Guy hides in a secret safe room that has been built into every pizzeria, a room that's hidden to customers and invisible to the animatronics programming. During the minigames that occur between nights, we see Shadow Freddy lead the other animatronics to this secret room, only to cause them to glitch out and then get torn apart by Purple Guy. This supernatural origin story is how Shadow Freddy is able to enter the safe room when other animatronics can't. How he's able to lead you to that room in the first place when other animatronics wouldn't be able to see it based on their programming, and even why he leads you there, knowing that Purple Guy attacking you will eventually free your soul. That's also why there's no Purple Freddy suit when you do finally enter that room. It's not an alternate Purple Guy costume like many believe, it's an apparition. Suck on that, Harry Potter, I knew someone would apparate eventually. It also explains why Shadow Bonnie's minigame in FNAF 3 always starts on Stage 01, the spring suits, and why it's the one animatronic we control that has the ghostly ability to glitch, fly, and teleport. As we concluded last episode, this is also the point in the timeline of the first missing children's incident, the one we learn about via newspaper clippings in Five Nights 1. So, based on the newspaper clipping evidence we have, we know that the mauve murderer dressed in one of the suits lured children to a back room and killed them. He's starting to develop his signature, but one nagging detail FNAF theorists have been wondering is what suit does he use for his disguise? The answer? Golden Bonnie. Why? Well, remember the phone guy saying the faulty suits were being retired to an appropriate location. There's a high likelihood they're being stored in one of the safe rooms in the restaurants. Plus, we hear in FNAF 2 that the purple guy has a habit of using a yellow suit.
We had a spare in the back, a yellow one. Someone used it.
But why not Golden Freddy? Phone Guy tells us so at the beginning of Night 5 in FNAF 3.
Management has also been made aware that the Spring Bonnie animatronic has been noticeably moved.
My, what an oddly specific detail to include, Scott Cawthon. And remember, these tapes that play in FNAF 3 date all the way back to the first pizzeria location, which is why this detail is so important. It reflects Purple Guy starting to develop his signature killing pattern. From there, we know the rest of the story. Purple Guy kills the kids, stuffs the bodies into the suits to hide them, but as we read the paper, is caught on camera and arrested. Meanwhile, the puppet gives life to the children, and the angry spirits possess possess the robots. Or is that really how it goes? Let's go back to the Give Gifts, Give Life minigame. The children are lying there dead, and the puppet first tries to give them presents. Weird, right? Weird until you consider that his place is at the prize corner. Giving presents is the only thing he knows that can make children happy. It's a reflex. Remember, this is still a child spirit in this puppet, but when that doesn't work, the puppet goes around one more time and does the only other thing it can think of: put the bodies into the suits. You heard that right. In trying to save the children, he's the one hiding them in the animatronic suits, not the killer like we've been assuming. But then what about the fifth child, as there's only 4 here? Well, as we pointed out last time, the fifth child is there too, appearing at the very end of the minigame and taking the role of Golden Freddy. But remember, Golden Freddy is a decommissioned spring-lock suit at this point, deemed too unsafe to be functional. The reason he's slumped over and can't move like the rest is that his endoskeleton has been taken out. He's in suit mode, not free roaming mode. He physically doesn't have the mechanisms in place to stand up and move. Possessed or
That
no,
makes
a
sense.
dead child's spirit just can't give a boneless suit the ability to stand. This also explains the lone naked endoskeleton that appears occasionally in both Five Nights 2 and Five Nights 1. An endoskeleton that once belonged to Golden Freddy. Whew. I know I made you wait for this one, so I knew I had to make it count. Heck, if there ain't a lot to cover. Still with me?
Unlock incredible deals and explore the best selection of musical equipment at Sweetwater. From stage to studio. and
Love
everything in
Sweetwater,
between.
by the way.
Good, because we're ready for our next location. You see, since the puppet hid the bodies, no one knows they're in the suits until they start oozing and smelling, which, as we see in the papers, eventually gets the place shut down for health violations. The company tries to recover from, quote, the tragedy that took place there many years ago, but can't, and eventually is forced to shut its doors for good. This leads to the trailer for Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Finally, we're actually going to talk about a game in the series. Seriously, can you believe we've been going this whole time on locations that aren't even settings for the 3 main games? That is why this lore is so challenging, but also so interesting. Anyway, forgotten, dismantled, deactivated. These are the words you see at the beginning of the trailer. Back when the debate about whether this game was a sequel or a prequel to the first game, these words made it seem like a follow-up, that everything had been shut down since the first game, but it wasn't. These words are a reference to the business being closed down after that first missing children's incident. That's why posters everywhere in Five Nights 2 are all about the brand new Fazbear Pizza. It's the grand reopening after years of being out of business. That's also why the new
I just kind of wanted to pause this and say this shit. This is a lot deeper than I thought. Like this is crazy cool. Like I'm not even shitting. This is crazy.
toy animatronics have built-in facial recognition software to a criminal database. They need to be careful to prevent another
I am sick and tired of these monkey-biting robots in this Monday through Friday town.
incident. But, as we know, it doesn't work. As we see in the Save Them minigame, 5 more children get killed in this new location. We know it's the new location because the minigame map's layout perfectly matches this new Fazbear business.
I'm doing good. What about you?
We also know it couldn't have happened earlier in the timeline, as both the old animatronics and new toy robots are presented in the game. But this time, the puppet's solution isn't saving the kids, it's stopping the killer. He enlists the help of Freddy to try and SAVETHEM, leading the bear to the killer's location. Except Purple Guy came prepared, equipped with not a phone, but rather something to help him tamper with the animatronics. He knows that something fishy is going on with these robots, because he's been watching, studying. The puppet wants Freddy to save them, to which the killer's answer is only this: you can't. So how did the Purple Guy manage it when he had been caught years before? What about the bite of 87? How do FNAF 1 and 3 fit in? And most importantly of all, who is the Purple Guy? All that next week. Don't worry, I'll come back. I always do. In the meantime, it's all just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching. Make sure you don't miss part 2 by clicking subscribe. Well, honestly, you still might
pause
miss
it, hit the like button. Okay. This is not as much of a banger as the other one is. Damn.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to
He really
Game
cooked on that
Theory.
intro
We may
that
not have
time.
made FNAF, but I like to think we've at least made it a bit more interesting. So in part 1 of this long-awaited all questions answered FNAF theory, we covered everything from the origins of the shadow animatronics, to the reason for Golden Freddy's ghostly behavior, to proof of what suit the killer uses. We clarified the timeline and even went so far as to dispel the myth that the killer is the one shoving the bodies into the suits. Click here if you missed it to get caught up. Don't worry, I'll wait. This is a pausable video after all, but today we're covering
We're gonna have to go back and watch it. No, I'm just
the
kidding.
major questions from the franchise, the final bits of the timeline, the ending of the game, and
FNAF Mystery Solved Part 2.
most
First
importantly of
half.
all, the identity of the purple guy. So enough intro, let's cut to the chase. When we left things off, there had been another round of murder done in Fazbear Pizza. Purple guy had once again used a golden Bonnie suit to lure in another set of 5 kids and kill them, as depicted in the Save Them minigame from FNAF 2. The place gets closed for investigation a few days later, but the one thing that practically everyone overlooks in this location is that it gets reopened. In FNAF 2, the Night 1 phone call welcomes you to your new summer job at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Hello and welcome to your new summer job at the new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Like a relentless weed, moderate to severe ulcerative colitis symptoms can keep coming back. Break away to what's possible with Tremfya, with rapid relief at 4 weeks.
Yeah, my
Many
phone's
people
gonna die.
experienced remission at 1 and
Damn,
even 2 years.
I ain't got no charger.
Some
Shit.
saw 100%
Oh,
visible
skip the
healing
ads.
of their intestinal
Summer job. And yet, the paycheck
Summer.
at the end of the week reads November. There is not a single place in the world where November is a summer month. Not one. Meaning that these tapes, all these tapes, are pre-recorded. And honestly, that shouldn't be a surprise. Phone Guy's calls are recordings in every game. In FNAF 1, before Phone Guy dies, he says he's glad he recorded these messages when he did.
I'm kind of glad that I recorded my messages for you.
And then in FNAF 3, they find the old training tapes the Phone Guy made.
First of all, we found some vintage audio training cassettes. Dude, these are like prehistoric. I think they were like training tapes.
I'm still trying to grab this
all of
charger.
Phone Guy's messages are unstuck in time, not recorded anytime near your tenure as security guard. That
What do you think of it
includes
so
the
far?
ones in
Oh, it's
FNAF
low-key
2 talking
fire.
about
This is a
children
lot
going
better than I
missing.
thought.
The pizzeria isn't being shut down for an investigation of some missing children the week you happen to be working there. You're listening to old tapes meant for the night security guard from months ago. Need more proof? Night 6's call references a birthday party happening as the last event before the building closes. But what decorations do we see put up throughout the building for the entirety of the week you're working there? Happy birthday banners. Confusing? You betcha.
That's very true.
Game-changing? Absolutely. This means that both Jeremy and Fritz, the characters you play as throughout FNAF 2, aren't the killer purple guy at all. They were both working in November, after the yellow suit investigation and the killer getting charged. Which brings us to the other key point in the timeline, the bite of
Yeah, that's right,
87.
FNAF fan
Ever
in the
since we
making.
heard about
Yes,
this
sir.
mysterious
Yes,
frontal
sir. I'm
lobe
becoming
nibble
more of a
on
fan
that
the more I
first
watch
fateful
this
night
shit.
at Freddy's, we've wanted to know more about this bizarre attack, the one that ends up resulting in animatronics no longer being allowed to walk around during the day. But now, 3 games in, we do know more. We know it took place in the location of FNAF 2 based on the 1987 date on Jeremy's paycheck. And furthermore, the newspaper clipping that ends FNAF 2 gives us a clue that it's the bite which closes this version of the restaurant, not some serial killing. Quote, after being open a few short weeks, the restaurant is closing its doors, the article says, with the new animatronics being scrapped for possible malfunction. That's game designer Scott Cawthon telling us that one of the new toy animatronics bit someone during the day. Why else would the new robots be scrapped while the old ones get kept for possible reorganization? Well, outside of an obvious need to retcon why these new robots didn't appear in Five Nights 1. It's because the company considered them safer, relatively speaking. So, then who's the biter?
That could be
well,
true.
It's none other than the pile of scraps and parts, Mangle. The most obvious clue
Angle?
is the animatronic's unhinged jaw. The frontal lobe is the biggest part of the human brain.
So wait, this is the bite of 87, right? Mangle did the bite of 87? Is that true? So Mangle did the bite of 87 and then Golden Fredbear did or Fredbear did the bite of 83. Isn't there two bites then? Because there was the FNAF 4 takes place in 1983. You can see that by the TV screen that said Fredbear and Friends 1983. And then you have the Golden Freddy suit, which was just Fredbear, and fucking that thing bit the kid, right? So then was there another bite? And this is like the bite of 87, and that's like the fateful freaking shit that was there. That's my
And the
question right
size and
now.
shape of the other toy robots' mouths just wouldn't be able to handle the size of the human head, especially when you compare it to the Mangle's narrow snout and wide open mouth. There's also Mangle's sharper teeth and potential angle of attack. As shown by its jump scare, Mangle goes for the top of the head. And who got bit? Well, there isn't enough evidence to say definitively, but your most likely candidate would be fan favorite Jeremy Fitzgerald. Jeremy passes the test, and on his paycheck at the end of the week, he
Fan favorite is a very true thing. I freaking loved FNAF 2, dude. Like, that was probably, if not my favorite game out of all of them. I'm gonna just be real. I loved that game so much.
welcomed into the family, presumably getting moved to day shift. Fritz gets hired to replace him on day 7, but then promptly gets fired for tampering with the animatronics. That means he's not likely the one to get bit, and instead the person who follows him on day shift is, leaving Jeremy as the most likely frontal lobeless candidate. But regardless of whether it's Jeremy or some other customer we've never met, someone gets bit, the restaurant closes for good, and as the newspaper clippings show, the old animatronics go into storage awaiting a smaller location with a lower budget. Fast forward to the
Damn.
90s and FNAF 1. We know it's the 90s based on the hourly rate of the paycheck received by Mike Schmidt, security guard extraordinaire from the first game, something we proved in our first Five Nights video. And now we can breathe a sigh of relief, because this was the beautiful time long ago, last August, when the games weren't so complicated, when the biggest mysteries were a game-crashing gold bear and the words, "It's me." No death minigames, no puppets, no need to shoehorn in extra overcomplicated storylines. That all would come later when the first game became a smash hit and got itself some sequels. And boy did those sequels make things complicated, as both featured 8-bit minigames
Chat,
revealing
Rachel
more
got me this
details about
black
this
bracelet too. I
location
don't know
from
if it's
the
in
original
focus or
game.
not,
First
but she
things
got me
first,
this
we know that
black
the
one too,
purple
as
guy
well as the
kills
like
5
diamond one on my
children
wrist.
here. We see it in the
She's so
Foxy
awesome.
Go 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 minigame from FNAF 2. Foxy runs past a grinning purple guy to see 5 dead bodies. Sorry, no fireworks this time, Foxy. And how do we know it's the FNAF 1 location? Well, it's the only time in the game when Foxy's stage, Pirate Cove, is located to the west of a dining area. See how he performs for the children by running to the right? That matches the map layout of the FNAF 1 pizzeria. We also know from the FNAF 3 minigames that this is where the purple guy dies inside a golden Springlock Bonnie suit in a safe room near the back. One built so that it would never show up on camera, conveniently explaining why it never appeared in the first game. But hold on, weren't those safe rooms sealed up a long time ago? I mean, we touched on this last episode, but the old recordings of Phone Guy we listened to throughout FNAF 3 say that these rooms are being closed off, discontinued, and will never be mentioned again. Why would a location 20 years later possess a safe room unless it was the same building as the first Freddy Fazbear's Pizza location? That's why it's in such disrepair when we see it in the FNAF 3 minigames, boarded up with rats on the floor. It's been closed down for years, which also means the dead kids from the Foxy Go 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 minigame aren't another set of new victims, cause seriously, at this point, the killer would have made his way through like a short bus full of pizza-hungry children. No, those kids are the first 5 dead kids, the ones who would eventually possess Old Bonnie, Chica, Freddy Foxy, and Golden Freddy. I mean, look, if the animatronics are possessed at this point, don't you think
Okay.
Foxy would be attacking Purple Guy rather than just running past him to perform for some dead kids? This also explains the random cutscene from FNAF 2 where the puppet's looking into Freddy's eyes. You can tell by the tables in the background and the design of both Bonnie and Chica that this is the
Is not
FNAF 1
Fredbear, in fact,
location
it's a
with the
different
old
mode.
animatronics on stage. But it's not a flash forward to the
It's a
game's
different
next
model?
location,
Oh,
but rather
shit.
a flash
Okay.
back to the moment the puppet brought these characters, these children, to life. Okay, but that's just tying together some loose ends in the story. We're interested in how this whole thing ends, and those FNAF 3 minigames give us the conclusion we're looking for. These flashback minigames show Purple Guy dismantling the animatronics from the security of the safe room one by one, but in doing so, he's unwittingly releasing the spirits of his former victims. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, Golden Freddy. When their powers combine, they are able to scare Purple Guy into the
Voltron.
Golden Bonnie springlock suit, which fails, crushes him pretty much to the point of death, though notice we never actually see him die, and the spirits fade away. Golden Bonnie, with Purple Guy inside, now known as Springtrap, rots away in the safe room for years until
Purple
he's
Guy
finally
Springtrap.
uncovered by the founders of Fazbear's Fright from the third
Confirmed.
game. With the discovery of Springtrap, this haunted house attraction, inspired by the years of mystery and murder of the pizzeria chain, finally has their first real animatronic, who then haunts the player for 5 nights and a nightmare night until the place burns down due to faulty wiring. The end. Take a bow. It's finally over. Well, kinda. We're still left with one final, seemingly impossible question to answer. Who is the Purple Guy? After spending, I kid you not, full days plotting out all the details of this game franchise on whiteboards, talking it over with anyone who would stand to listen to me ramble on and on about fictional haunted robots, and just looking at it from every possible angle,
Rachel
all
also gave me
logic
this.
points to it being...
Love it.
Picked a great main, but your voice doesn't quite match it?
We have a fix.
Voice mod gives you over 100
pizzeria chain finally has their first real animatronic, who then haunts the player for 5 nights and a nightmare night until the place burns down due to faulty wiring. The end. Take a bow. It's finally over. Well, kinda. We're still left with one final, seemingly impossible question to answer. Who is the Purple Guy? After spending, I kid you not, full days plotting out all the details of this game on and on about goal, all logic points to it being... the phone guy. And no, not because I made a theory about it and refused to let it die. Honestly, I couldn't care less if that last video was wrong. At this point, I just care about the truth, and phone guy makes the most logical sense. I know your complaints, and I promise you, if you stick with me, you'll be convinced.
My knee,
First,
your
there's the
ear right
circumstantial
now.
evidence I presented
Damn.
during my FNAF 2 theory. Phone guy's admitted love of Foxy being reflected by the smiling purple guy sprite during the Foxy Go minigame. His distrust of the puppet, a creature haunted by his first victim that we see time and time again trying to bring a stop to his killing spree. His admitted role as a security guard, and even the weird phone-like object in his hand from the Save Them minigame. But there's even more evidence when we consider Five Nights 3. Consider this. He's the only person in the game who knows about the safe rooms. As we've mentioned before, all the safe rooms were sealed up back in the Springlock suit days, back in
Chat,
the
after
first
this
Freddy
video, we're
Fazbear's
gonna do
Pizza
some
location, meaning every
Friday
other
Night Funkin'
employee
mod
coming
requests.
afterward would have never even heard of these things. Phone
Because
Guy
it's
is
time
the
for Friday
only
Night
character we
Funkin'.
meet
I
who would
wanted to
have
play that
any
again.
knowledge of these
I wanted to play
rooms,
that
and
again
more
on stream. I
importantly,
downloaded
of
some
how
new
they
ones too.
operate,
We could
how
do
they're
the Shaggy
invisible to the
mod.
cameras,
That'd be pretty
and
cool.
more
We should start
importantly,
with the
to the
Shaggy mod.
animatronics. And that's just the beginning. He's also the only person who knows how to use the Springlock suits. Again, once they were decommissioned, the suits were hidden away.
Matter
Regardless
of fact, real quick, I'm gonna just... And then... Nope. Don't open that. Um... Okay, update that. Cool. Now,
Of whether you believe that the killer used a golden Bonnie suit the whole time or you think he used a golden Freddy suit, either way, we know for a fact the killer was using one of the yellow spring-locked suits, and Phone Guy is the only character we know who had knowledge of A, where they were hidden, and B, how they were operated safely. Now, I know a
that
lot
makes
of people have
sense.
said that it couldn't have been Phone Guy because he knew better. He knew that they were dangerous and could kill him, so if he was indeed the purple guy, he wouldn't just hop into a Springtrap suit like we see depicted at the ending of FNAF 3. But there's one key detail that everyone has been overlooking and that Scott carefully included in this game. Listen.
Are you a Roblox fanatic?
Bruh, right at the
Microsoft
most important
Rewards has a
part.
brand new way for you to earn.
Hear it? There's rain. There are puddles on the ground. It's dripping from the ceiling. The killer had been using these spring-lock suits safely for years, but in his panic to escape the ghosts, he failed to notice the wetness of the building around him. The killer had never encountered this problem before because the building had always been in a decent state of repair, but now it's a wreck, torn apart by age. Rain is able to seep in, something he didn't realize when he was in such a hurry to run away from the ghosts. And if moist breath can loosen the locks, you can bet some rain would make those suckers ready to snap shut. And they do, killing our killer. I mean, all of that makes a pretty compelling argument. Almost an open and shut case if there wasn't one final major criticism to the Phone Guy theory since the release of FNAF 3. And it's a good one. The fact that Phone Guy seems to die during his Night 4 phone call from the first game.
Hey, listen, I may not be around to send you a message tomorrow. It's been a bad night here for me. I'm kind of glad that I recorded my messages for you. When I did.
If Phone Guy was the killer, why would the robots still be active after his death and the ghosts disappear? It just wouldn't make sense unless you stop to consider the rest of FNAF 3's endings. The big twist in FNAF 3 is the inclusion of a good and bad ending. By completing the game normally, you get the bad ending, in which we see Purple Guy die in a flashback minigame, and the whole thing ends with 5 masks representing the 5 main animatronics with lights on behind their eyes. The good ending, meanwhile, requires using some not-so-subtly hidden clues to unlock minigames, then basically ignoring those games, glitching them out, and giving hidden dead kids cake to make them happy, obviously referring to the victims of Purple Guy. Beat the game this time, and the ending is largely the same, but with 1 fewer animatronic mask and no lights on. The obvious difference here is that in the good ending, the souls of the dead children have been put at peace. When they disappear for good. They don't go back to their animatronic bodies. But the bad ending? The lights on behind the eyes of all 5 masks mean that these guys are still active. Angry, restless spirits still haunting the robots to this day. Because here's the thing. The good ending doesn't exist until you, as the player of the 3rd installment, give cake to those kids during FNAF 3's hidden minigames. What you play
so we
in
have
FNAF
power
1,
throughout
though,
this shit?
is the aftermath of the bad ending, when the animatronics have killed Phone Guy but are still out for vengeance. Yeah, you made it through those first 5 nights at Freddy's. You overheard the death of the Purple Guy recorded live on the phone, but it wasn't enough. You got the bad ending. Even with the killer crippled in the back room in a spring-lock suit, the lights are still on in these animatronics. They're still roaming the halls, attacking anyone wearing that much-hated security guard outfit. People like Mike Schmidt, an innocent guy just trying to do his job at a failing pizza.
You could check inside those suits, the heads.
Unlock incredible deals and explore the best selection of
I think I
musical
skipped back by
equipment at
accident.
Sweetwater. From
Back there.
Think about what Purple Guy does. He hides in a back room, the safe room, hides in a suit, and despite getting sprung-trapped, actually does hold out until someone checks.
Sprung-trapped? Wouldn't it
Holds
be
out long
spring-trapped?
enough for the phone dude to find the hidden safe room, recover the animatronic, and set him free in Fazbear Fright. Exactly what the phone guy said he'd do in his final moments. And as Springtrap, he comes back in FNAF 3. Comes back like he always does. And with no real animatronics present at Fazbear's Fright, remember Springtrap is the only real one they've found, with all the rest scattered, probably located in dumps, which is why their bodies and faces are decaying. All that the spirits can do is appear as phantoms, hallucinations. Well, all
That would
except
make
one,
sense.
the puppet, who we see in his physical form roaming the hallways of
Oh,
Fazbear Fright.
shit,
So
yeah.
real, in fact, that we see his reflection visible in the pools of water under his feet, meaning he is there and unburnt.
Oh, he
There's only
is.
one way to truly end this. End the murderous purple guy, burning the place to the ground. The puppet gave robots life, gave spirits peace, and finally gave the murderer, the phone guy, his long-deserved death. Or at least tried to. And that is the end of the Five Nights at Freddy's story. No hat, no movie, no fourth installment.
What? Oh, no! No!
There was the fourth installment.
No! No!
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, what happened? What's wrong?
Look!
Oh no.
But hey,
That was
that's
not indeed
just
the
a
final
theory.
chapter.
A game theory. Thanks for watching. Hey, if you enjoyed these
All
theories,
right.
show your appreciation by subscribing to the channel. Seriously, I spent more blood, sweat, and tears on these.
Okay, that's enough. Let's get to... Stop.
Parents of
Okay,
children
you
who
know
play
what?
Roblox.
I tried liking.
If your
It's
child was
not letting
sexually
me.
exploited, abused, or pressured to share explicit content by someone they met on Roblox, you may qualify to file a claim. Estimated compensation
It's not
varies
letting me.
depending on what happened and how it affected your child. For cases involving exposure to sexual materials, estimated
Yeah,
compensation may range from
stop.
$25,000 to $50,000. If your child was coerced into sending
Okay,
explicit
hold
content
the
and is
fucking
receiving
phone.
ongoing mental health treatment, estimated compensation may range from $50,000
Oh,
to
shit.
$300,000. And in more
Oh,
serious
no,
cases,
dude.
such as physical abuse, attempted rape, sexual assault, or
Yo,
trafficking,
yo.
estimated compensation may range from $300,000 to over $1 million.
Stop. Holy shit. I can't even think. I don't know where my mouse thing just went. Dude, that's not good at all. I do not know where my mouse thing just went. Oh, shit. Hold on. Damn, how much notifications do you have? A lot. I subscribe to a lot of people. Hold on. I'm looking for something. Ignore my mess ass table. Dude, I can't believe this shit just disappeared. Where did it go? Well, it's not under the mini fridge. I actually don't know where this shit just went. Dude, this is not good. I fucking need that. Dog. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit, bruh. Oh shit. No, dude. Where is it? Oh, dude, I'm cooked. I'm cooked, bruh. I'm fucking cooked. Maybe if I grabbed a flashlight. Did you check under your bed? That's kind of what I'm doing. I'm just kind of praying it's here somewhere. I mean, it's got to be here somewhere. I just watched it freaking fly. Oh, I found it. Aha! I got it. I got it, bitch. Oh, my voice cracked. Okay. Now that I'm sitting on my mouse. Okay. I get situated again. All right, bro. Damn. Plug in my shit again. Plug in the first thing. Plug in the second thing. Oh, shit. Yeah, that is the right place. Okay. Okay, cool. Minimize this. Um, Anybody got any requests off the rip? I'm gonna actually start Neo as our first one, and then we'll just keep cycling through recommendations. Throw your requests in the chat. Y'all can feel free to blow up the chat and which ones you'll want. Ooh, shit. I love this one so much, dude. I skipped through all the dialogue though. Maybe I won't this time. So you're that kid that wants to be the next star in this place, eh? You sure you can handle it? Oh, I skipped it.
3, 2,
Oops.
1, go!
Come on, bro. Give me a freaking challenge. I'm about to move and I'm moving. Hey. Hey, that was fire, bro. Hey, yeah. Not bad. But hate to break it to you, rock stars don't just copy someone else's vocals the whole time, kiddo. So you want some improv? I'll sure as hell give you some improv. Let's get going.
3, 2,
I
1,
bet.
go!
Ooh. Turn that up. Oh shit. Ooh. Go crazy, bro. Ooh. fucking insane, dude. We're so good. Pop the freak off. On gosh, bro. Oh, would you look at that? We attracted a bit of a crowd. That's impressive. Well, it's been fun messing with you, but I'm going all out on this one. You can say goodbye to these naive little dreams of yours. For good. No one's ever outshined Daddy Dearest at his best. Looks like I'll just need to be the first to do it then. Big talk from someone your size. It only means that your loss will be more embarrassing. Now hit it.
3, 2, 1, go!
He got fire roast, bro. Shit. Yep. Hold on. I'm streaming. What's up? I will. Right before I go to bed. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna call, make sure you're awake.
Yes, sir.
Just all cleaned up and washed up, just throwing the sink.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Love you too. All right, chat. Get right back into this. Oh my god, it picks back up. Look at this. Look at that. 0 combo breaks. 0. You've got to be kidding me. How does it feel to be outshined at your best? You're acting like my glory days are over, so thanks for a midlife crisis, asshole. You talk so much, man. Just shut up and get me admitted to a gig already. Fine. The spookies are playing in the graveyard in a few hours. I'll help you get a battle with them. They keep wiping the floor with everyone that tries to battle them. I'd love to see you get your ass handed to you by a few real rock stars. Thanks for the tip. I'll be sure to kick their ass, too. Pick up the phone. Hey, he's heading over there now. Be alert and have someone on the standby in case stuff gets shaky. Wonderful. Okay. Okay. This graveyard is gonna be easy game, don't you think, GF? Yeah, however we're going against, I'm sure you'll destroy them, babe. Hey, you kids, we're here for the rap battle against the spookies. We heard they were playing in here in a bit. You know where they are? That would be us. Can't you recognize this dickweed? We're about to get you. We're just about to head on stage. Yeah, dickweed. Dumbfounded. You got some sharp tongues for kids your age. Yeah, so what? Yeah, so what? This fuck's good. Didn't he say something about a battle? At least one of you kids listened. If you want the battle, then you came to the right place. Oh shit. Yeah, this will be easy. This kid, we still need to get on stage. Oh yeah. We still need to give the audience a performance. They came here for a reason. To hear us play. Then let's give the audience a show.
3, 2, 1, go!
This is nasty, bro. I'm crazy. You can't just. You can't. I'm so good. copy of OG FNF game, but more advanced. Yeah, it's a remix. These are remixes. We could also do B-sides. What do y'all want? We could find some FNF mods. Okay, that wasn't bad, but it was just beginner's luck. We can't keep up with our next songs. You, if you say so. Next song.
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, okay. I almost missed. I'm too good. I just nailed the shit out of that. Y'all can't even. Ah, bro. Hold on, let me plug in my laptop here so that way it doesn't die. Oh, wrong cord. Where's that cord on?
Get freaky on a Friday night yet?
Oh my god, this pause music goes so hard. Holy shit. Okay, sweet. Why is it not? Okay, sweet. We're plugged in. Alright. I don't want to count that as a miss, dude, but that's fine. Oh, the original song. This is like almost too easy, bro. It's challenging. Yeah, too simple. Too good. Was that just also beginner's luck? Yeah, we just went up medium on you. My throat kind of hurts. Skinny. One more song. Sure, sure. So you actually won't do your. So you actually gonna do your best this time around? Yeah, no more going easy on you. Yeah, we're gonna make you beat. We're gonna beat you this time around. Uh-oh. What is that? Let's get the hell out of here. What the? That's too bad. At least this will be the last time you see anyone else. After all, I can't let you experience the burden I'll give you. Who the hell are you? No need to chat. Just come with me and everything will be okay for now. If you're smart, you'll come with us. Fuck you. I'll kick your ass, man. So unwise.
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh shit. This shit's moving. And my health! That's cheating. My health is going that way.
Well, look at this, all the children in the place now. Hope you mind if I upstage you. Oh, I drop by to let your careers to waste now. Tell you apart, rip out your music's on and rip out all your remarks too. This world's got to do this intent. It's replacing the monster that made an art of killing.
Oh my god.
What have you got? Just a couple corny jump scares. Streaming for a second's no time.
Hold on, let me pull my chat up. This is going too hard, bro. This is literally going way too hard.
Knowing your device is waiting for you at the ready. But don't you worry, we'll see your end coming when your eyes are mine.
My eyes aren't yours. No. Alright, we gotta get out of here, GF. Take my hand. Right. Here, into the alleyway. We should be safe for now. We aren't getting away that easily. Fuck. Pico. Pico. So you really thought your escape would be that easy? Yeah, kind of, if I'm being honest. Well, that lemon guy was kind of slow. He might have been too slow to catch you, but I don't think you'll be able to outrun my bullets.
3, 2, 1, go!
No misses? Again? Are you fucking serious? After that terrible show you put on at the Graveyard, you're just start getting good now? What the hell are you talking about? That's one of the best performances I've ever done. Shut the fuck up.
3, 2, 1, go!
Why do you have to put such a fight, eh? Why can't you just go with it? Just accept your fate and come with us. It's inevitable. What kind of shit are you guys on? How the hell do you expect me to go with you guys? I don't even know any of you. You literally threatened to shoot me. That aside, trust me, I'll explain when we get to the base. Now, come with us.
3, 2, 1, go!
Damn, I ain't going nowhere. No, fuck you. You can't beat me. Oh shit. Oh my god, it's finally, my turn's finally over. Oh shit. Too good. I'm too good. You're starting to piss me off here. You understand how fucking hard it is to go through living this shitty city day by day? And when I finally get my chance to do something useful, you keep resisting it? Jeez, calm down, man. I'll fucking kill you. Pico. Huh? What do you think you're doing, man? The boss said we're gonna need him alive. Come on, we need us all to meet each other. Let's go. We'll get him soon enough. I promise. Fine. Fuck both of you. Yeah, come on, GF, let's go. Right. Oh, hey, you two. Who are you? Huh? I saw you performing at Spooky's Graveyard just a bit ago. You real got some balls, kid. I'm about to do a quick music video shoot before I head to a party. I really need a person to duo with. Would you like to be in the music video with me? Hell yeah. Let's go. Oh boy. This is gonna be a real wild night. Okay, I'm kidding. Run that shit. What the hell is wrong with you, woman? What's the matter? Got a little stage fright? It's not that. It's just, we're on top of a fucking plane. No, the view up here is so amazing. Oh shit, the view up here is amazing. Don't tell me you're afraid of a mere 34,710-foot drop. What? Anyway, roll cameras. You know what to do, right, glow stick? I mean, glow stick? Right?
3, 2, 1, go!
Getting the hang of this. Haven't fallen off yet. Doing better than my husband's career. Damn. I'm sure that's not the only thing I can do better than your husband. Huh? I'm actually there for GF, unlike him. Oh. You're pushing the boundaries a little too far, boy. Let's roll the next song. Damn. Still no misses. I'm too good. I'm too good at this shit. I mean, there's zero misses. No misses. It's actually really nice up here. It's like we're shooting stars in the night sky. That was fun, but I think it's time to throw you off this plane. No, 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 GF. Did you just...
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh my god. Hey! Oh shit. Damn, I missed one. Oh shit. Oh damn, I missed two. That's tragic. Let's hit this shit again. I missed three! No! Alright, next mod! I'm bored of this. Let's play the Shaggy mod. Oh, that's copyright? Damn, there's a number of these. Okay. Like for a dog that got lost in this mansion. Mm, sweet. Have you like seen her or anything? Beep bop boop. You like to sing, but I haven't found schools yet. Bop beep bop. I sure hope so too. Well, just a couple songs though. I don't know that many. Siri, go away. Go away.
3, 2, 1, go!
It's Scooby Dooby Doo. Where are you? Another mod about to Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Zoink. You lost control for a second. I don't want to make it unfair to you or anything. Beep boop. Okay, like you're ready now and
3, 2, 1, go!
Wind I ever heard with a sense of humor.
Well, that's the first wind I've ever heard with a sense of humor. You gotta be kidding me. Hold on, let me turn on performance mode. Nope. How do I turn on performance mode? I can't remember. Oh yeah. Sweet. You're actually like really good and stuff. Like boring. You sounds like faster this time. Beep boop boop bap bee. Alright, here we go, man. Huh? The motherfucker just go Super Saiyan? SDFJKL? Are you serious right now? I have 6 keys. And they're virtually the same color. Now don't do that shit again. I don't want to get copyright. One of Rachel hairs. You see, haven't seen Scoob around? Fuck. Oh my god. Oh gosh. I haven't like found him either. He must be so scared. Bap. Huh? Sing again? You know, maybe singing Scoob's favorite song might call his attention and stuff. If he can hear us. Alright, here we go.
3, 2, 1, go!
God, we're back to 4. I know that song. Fucking A. I love that song. You can't play with me in my Scooby-Doo, bro. Scooby-Doo. You can't play with me in my Scooby-Doo. What's new, Scooby-Doo? Yes, sir. Scooby's my closest friend, you know. We've been together for the last 70 years. 70 years. I stopped my aging when I was like 17. I did the same to my friends because it would be selfish for me not to let them rest and stuff. Result, Scooby was so insistent he told me he'd never regret his decision if it meant to spend eternity by my side. Now he's the only one I have left. Beep, bebop. Oh, I'm gonna make some noise. This shit again.
3, 2, 1, go!
You can't be fucking serious, dude. I don't want to do this shit again. Oh, another Rachel here. My lady. I'm barely alive. I'm barely alive. I barely did that. Beep, bop. Bop, bee. Beep, boop, bee. Bop, bop, bee, bop. That's like really rude, man. You're really beep, boop. Heh. Prick.
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, I'm getting really good. I'm getting really good. I don't even want to. Nope, 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 nope. How did I end with a full bar? My tailbone, dude. Scooby? Scooby, where are you? Like, what's wrong? The monster, right? We talked about this, lady. It's like totally cool, man. Bip. Will that get you to sing for real this time? Oh. Oh, I'm completely fucked. It just put me straight to the finale. It's about to have 6 keys and shit I can't dot and shit I can't click too fast in. It's about to be some bullshit. I know it. I'm fucked. Oh shit.
3.
Nine ASDF space HJKL.
2, 1,
fucked. I'm so fucked. Can I just not do that shit, please? Like, I actually
Walk away.
Lock the fuck in game, gang. That's what I'm trying to do. Amazing. What? I swear to you, didn't I? I need to finish that part soon. I'm not sure how Scooby was looking. From my perspective, at least. Yes, you have some amazing abilities. I'm glad I didn't go for that one too. 0.002%. Well, we are going we're gathering up some powerful individuals for a tournament in the university. Don't exactly cut Scooby in half. I'm not gonna pretend like singing is my only option again. Oh shit. Nice. We'll continue. We'll pick up the lore streams another day. I'm actually gonna go to bed, and we're gonna pick up Friday Night Funkin' another day too.